IOs, you know, and there was this sort of a generation who wanted to Europeanize their children in order for their children to survive. But what I found fascinating there is that how she was sort of saying that she wished you hadn't tried to learn any African language, but she was very pleased actually that you were learning the songs. And I wondered if you could speak about that that oral tradition that manages to somehow survive hegemony and domination. You know, it seems that the oral tradition lives on in your work, and actually your mother passed it on, this knowledge on to you through the oral tradition.
I remember when we were at home, she always cooked like in the village. She doesn't want to use all this machine, and she wants to really to on the floor using, I don't know, let's say that in English, you know,
like the
royal.
Oh, okay. That link to the audience.
Then she got that and she was singing loud while doing that. But we surround what her singing, and her sisters start singing. That we start to imitate her, like yeah, and we make fun of it. But at the same time, it starts to stay in us. And I remember saying, "I'm African, leave me alone. This is the way I grew up. Leave me alone." They said, "No, Mom, you cannot do that." I said, "Leave me alone. I'm African. Leave me alone." They always that, and then it stays in us. But like my brother, he had a problem with that, and it stays in him for a long time. And we talk about it, and the only answer is like maybe the woman, the girls identify to a mom, and that's all the answer I have. But still today is still very European, but with not rejecting the African side, but it doesn't feel the same way the lady took it, definitely. And the answer to the question?
Yeah, and so, yeah, I'd just like to talk about the evolution of your music, I suppose, then, which sort of has incorporated. I saw you perform live the last time when your last album was out at Ancien Belgique in 2011, I think it was. And it was an incredible performance, and we're going to see a performance of Marie tomorrow night. It's not going to be with a full band, but it's going to be like a VJ performance with visuals. And what struck me is how you had this Pan-African sort of power through visuals and through your music, and you put together jazz and Fela Kuti and the polyphony as if it was one thing, you know, and that's why I'm quite interested with this word Afropean, is because there is Afro-European with a hyphen, and you know, and you have mixed race or black other, but Afropean suggests liminality and plurality, but also in something that feels natural and organic, you know, as if these two things do belong together or can belong in unison. I just wonder how you go about living that and how you go about putting that in your music.
The words mama, you understood where it's coming from, and zapping from a culture to another. Because I felt, I expressed 50-50, but today I will say 100-100. That even 200 for others. But I want to show the world, as I mentioned earlier, that there is a community with a wider not mentality, but understanding of the world. And but no book, no nothing surround us, help us to understand that. And having friends who had the mentality kind of racist, and they love me, we love each other, but she mentioned things like, where is this coming from? And say, there's something wrong? I said, yeah, this is super racist what you just said. But I'm not. That is the culture, the way the society made everything. That's how can I change that? This art can do it. That's why I needed to integrate African elements with European, being the new things, fashion things, Afro-European, because Afro-American call themselves Afro-American. But say it's separate both. That's meeting with David Byrne, who signed me in the United States. He proposed me Afropean. That was, then I said, let's do the first album, The Adventure of Afropean. That's it's like the book. You know Tintin, Tata?
Yeah. Too well.
Then for me, the way I live, I want to present Zap Mama like the adventure of Tintin, adventure of that's 5 girls living in both culture and have no problem to discover the rest of the world. And then people making something super simple, but the message is there. Just wearing, putting some makeup, African makeup, and I remember Gucci, you know creative designer,
yes,
Gucci, wants to dress us because he fell in love with the Zap Mama, and I said, I want to dress you, and I said, I want to have boots dance like the South African. I don't want to have high heels. I said, no, we need red. Lips and high heels. No, I want my African makeup and the boots dance. I was like, okay, she's a little bit too. Then there was like we take care of the entire things or nothing, and I said no, it's like not half. Then we create our own clothes, and American people like. Even when Badu introduced me to her people, to the Afro-American world, that was like the big things. And she started as well to put all the makeup, African makeup, and I said, okay, there is a lot of things that obligate you to forget with the history of Afro-American. I'm bringing it back now. It's time to free yourself, free your mind, and bring it back. And then we have, sorry, I cut you. There is this movie, comment il s'appelle? Black Panther. Finally, it's the achievement. I did it.
Yeah, I think it's easy when something comes out like Black